Yo guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we will be going over the current state of Bitcoin and the current state of Ethereum, and we will be looking at some potential scenarios and some potential trade ideas that could be lining up right now on both of them. What can we see is that Bitcoin has been making a pretty decent run this week after forming a higher low over here, after getting a break of structure over here, after the sweep over here. This means either two things. So first of all, we could be looking at a potential impulsive move towards the upside for Bitcoin, or we could be looking at a potential ABC correction towards the upside. Right now, this C wave is looking pretty impulsive to me after the A and B move were very corrective. So we might be looking at a potential impulse. But if we want to be looking at a potential impulse, there's one area that is very important for Bitcoin to hold on to in order to keep that momentum towards the upside. And I think it is this area over here. In a little bit, we will be going over why this area is so important. But in the meantime, we could be looking at a potential short trade idea for Bitcoin. Since we have a big supply area over here, a lot of people have been shorting this supply area, especially since we are creating a bearish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame. So if I double click and remove the RSI based moving average, I can see that we have a bearish divergence that is slowly being formed on the 4-hourly time frame. On top of that, we are near a supply area, so a lot of people are looking to short the price right here. The only problem is though that we haven't taken out any significant liquidity top yet. In this case, this will be our buy side liquidity. Everyone that is shorting over here, the first supply area, are putting their stop loss of their short position above this high, obviously, which is causing a lot of liquidity buildup above this high. We all know that the market makers love to stop out people, so in my opinion there's a high probability of sweeping that high before we get some correction towards the downside for Bitcoin. Why could we see a rejection above this high? Well, because we have a lot of confluences lining up above that high. If we take the Fibonacci retracement and we go from swing high to swing low, let me remove the RSI for a second, and we switch on the golden pocket over here, we can see that we have that golden pocket right above that buy side liquidity, right on top of that hour 4 fair value gap, where we also have an hour 4 supply area coming in over here. So a lot of people are looking to short the first supply area, but I think we have a lot of confluences lining up right above the first supply area into the second supply area, which is looking much stronger. On top of that, if we go on a daily time frame and we zoom out a little and we mark out our June low, so the previous cycle low, and we zoom back in on the 4-hourly time frame, we can also see that we have the June low exactly at the same area. Okay, so that is a very important level to be gaining for Bitcoin. On top of that, if we take the trend-based FIB extension and we measure out this move towards the upside, we can also see that we also have the 1.618 FIB extension around the same area, exactly where we have the supply block. Okay, so a lot of confluences lining up for a potential short trade over here before we see a rejection towards the downside for Bitcoin. Okay, so that is what I'm currently looking at, to take out that buy side liquidity before we move towards the downside. Does that mean that we can't move down from here? Obviously, we can also move down from here, but I think it is not worth the risk to short here. I would only be interested in taking a short once we take out this buy side liquidity over here. Okay, guys? So that's a short idea. To look for a potential long, I think this is a critical area over here for Bitcoin. Why? First of all, if we just look at the current range for Bitcoin, we can see that we have range high over here and range low over here. So if we take our range high, range low, switch on the range over here, we can see that if we extend this range towards the right, that we also have the mid-range around the exact same area. Okay, so we have a very important support area over here that we need to hold on to, but we could also get a sweep of these lows that have been building up pretty nicely and didn't get a sweep before we went towards the upside. So we could also get a sweep of those lows into the mid-range over here, get a reclaim afterwards, and send it towards the upside from there. Okay, so that is definitely very interesting. Also on top of that, we can take a look at the fixed range volume profile of this entire range. And what can we see? Point of control perfectly lining up with our mid-range, guys. Okay, so we can also see the interaction with this point of control and with this mid-range. That is actually looking beautiful. Okay, so every single time rejections, and we see moves towards the downside, as you can see. Okay, over here holding on to support, moves towards the upside for Bitcoin. Okay, rejection, moves towards the downside. Over here rejection, reclaim, and we send it towards the upside. Okay, so beautiful interaction with the mid-range. So personally looking at two potential areas to put my limit orders if we get a bullish pullback. First area of support, second area of support. Invalidation is very clear, is a clean cut below this low over here for Bitcoin. Okay, if you get a cut below that low, that is where you want to look for lower prices. Until we do, and until we break that low, and as long as we hold on to this bullish market structure, I do expect a big push potentially towards the upside from this area. Okay, so we are looking at a potential push towards the upside towards that range high over here, and maybe even take out that high over there. If we do, and we do get a strong reclaim of this range high, that is where we might send it towards even higher price. Okay guys, so that is what I'm currently looking at for Bitcoin. On top of that, also we switch on the EMAs, and we switch on the most important EMAs for Bitcoin. We can see that those EMAs are perfectly lining up right now with our area of interest. So that is very nice to look at as well. Ethereum already trading against that range high area of resistance, as you can see. Also Ethereum looking quite exhausted. If we switch on the stochastic RSI and the relative strength index, and we remove the RSI based moving average once again, we can see that also the RSI on the 4-hourly time frame creating a bearish divergence. If we go on to the 12-hourly time frame, we look at the stochastic RSI, we are forming a potential double top. Okay, and also overbought on the 12-hourly time frame. So also Ethereum is looking ready for a potential pullback towards lower levels. Okay, so for Ethereum, I think the area of interest for a potential long is pretty clear as well. I would be looking at this area to hold on to. As long as it holds on to this area, we maintain bullish market structure, and we could be looking at an impulse towards the upside. Why? Ethereum's price action recently has been very clean. If we look at the lower time frames, we can see got a beautiful sweep of the low over here, broke market structure, retracement towards the discount, and even more important, towards the golden Fibonacci ratio, which is making this a valid first wave, second wave, and we are currently looking at a potential end of the third wave before looking for a potential pullback in the fourth wave and longing potentially the fifth wave. Okay, so what could we be looking at? We could be looking at if this is our current wave count for Ethereum. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fourth wave, I would be looking at a potential ABC correction. Okay, so maybe we get something like this, in which we break market structure over here by breaking that low, form a B move, get the C move into our area of interest, and look for potential long positions over there. Okay, if we do hold on to that area of interest, if we do hold on to that interesting area of support, I expect another test of the range high, obviously. Maybe even, oh, my bad. Maybe even we take out that range high and we send it towards the next area of interest, which is this level over here. Okay, so I think if you hold on to this area of support, we're looking at a potential test of the range high, reclaim the range high, and I think you could be looking at a test of this pivotal level over there. Okay, so that is what I'm currently looking at for Ethereum. Not looking to short Ethereum because we could also get a big dildo above the range high towards that next level. So not looking to short the strength yet, just looking to trade the trend for Ethereum and looking for a bullish pullback before looking for potential long positions and ride them towards the upside. Okay guys, so that is what I'm currently looking at for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. The trend is upwards. We are finally looking at a potential little bit of a rally if they can both hold on. Okay, so try to remain calm, try to be patient, try not to FOMO into any positions. Try to wait for pullbacks, and in my opinion, as long as we don't get really bad CPI data, I think pullbacks are for longing. Okay, try to not be influenced by any financial or fundamental events. Try to look what the charts are telling you and try to trade the chart until you reach your invalidation point. Okay guys, If you guys have any questions, make sure to follow me on Twitter or join our free Discord. Both of the links can be found in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you guys on Friday. Ciao!